And good morning to everybody. We are here in Catania, Sicily, and this is the beautiful city park that is closed because of the virus. And here we are downtown on the middle of a Thursday afternoon. A place like this should be hustling and bustling. There's some famous bars here in the town center. And instead, it's like some kind of a desert out here. So, looks like the quarantine here is at least keeping a large percentage of the people inside their houses. Here we have the post office. As you can see, many people lined up, more inside, letting one in at a time. All the shops, everything closed. And many of the pharmacies as well. Now, if you need to go to a pharmacy, you need to look at a special list to see which ones in the city are open on which days. Not the best kind of thing you'd want to encounter in case of an emergency, but that's just the way it is out here. I see many people. In fact, we'll come up by a car station machine. I see that the ATMs are essentially emptying out. In certain places, people are frustrated. They're running back and forth looking for an ATM that'll give them some money. Before, there were some people talking about they were filling the machines up, so not to worry. And okay, this is one of these ones they must have just filled up. Not so much of a line. Earlier there was one. It's not like people over here are afraid that the money's going to run out or something like that. And so got a few cars out here, and the ones that we do have while walking with the moose here are just the cops and a few cars, people going to jobs that are necessary to keep things rolling around here. And I'd say that I'm pretty impressed with the way that things continue rolling here. People are able to get their bread, the grocery stores, even though you gotta wait outside. Keep your distance from people and all that crap. They're stocked. Plenty of toilet paper and paper towels for our American viewers. If you are here, there's plenty of it. And yeah, so we haven't gone necessarily military style over here. They've threatened us with it because of the fact that people aren't staying at home. But I think that now that everything is closed, you really got no place to go. You could have all the desire to go out and do something, but there's not a thing to be done. And I guess that's one way of keeping everybody at home. Restaurants are closed, everything is closed. So guess that's about enough of a report from here this morning. Of course, there's always more cases of the virus supposedly going around. I've spoken to my doctor here, and though she's working at her office taking like one patient at a time, she says she hasn't got any test kits, that she doesn't know anybody who's got any test kits for the virus. And when they're diagnosing people with the virus, she's a little hesitant to say how exactly they're doing that, unless it's only the emergency room that has got the test kits. But so that's kind of one of those things here that while everybody's trying to really exaggerate the situation of the virus, you could more or less say that maybe some of these situations that people die or they're in the hospital, maybe they're just there with a normal influenza, maybe they're there with just a cold, but are they diagnosing them properly and correctly? And that's something that we're going to have to really investigate and find out, because it does seem to me a little bit strange what's going on, and it seems to be that way with a lot of other people. If you're not one who so easily and likely trusts your government and world powers as to what it is that they say you should do, then this is one of these grand moments in the world where you're examining exactly what's going on, what the future, what lies beyond this. How long is this situation supposed to last? Here, it really doesn't seem to be something so out of the norm. There's a bit of leeway. People are just kind of doing what it is that they've got to do. Hell, if you want to go out for a walk, you can go out for a walk, and really nobody's gonna pester you about it, except for maybe in the evenings. But for my friends there in America, that we know that they really like to take things seriously there when they go on some kind of a close down. I can only imagine what's going through the head of many people who don't trust the government out there. And you've got a bit of a powder keg of social division and unrest in that country. Many guns in that country. Many power hungry and abusive police officers, politicians, and everything else in between. And it'd be very interesting to see what ends up happening when America has to shut its doors, turn off the lights, and stay by itself indoors for a little while. We'll be able to get a better understanding of exactly where that country sits in the mix of things. And here we have a grocery store. We see people waiting outside in line. The line is a little bit on the long side, it looks like today. But either way, I'm sure that before lunch these people will have gotten in there and gotten their groceries. So, alright, well, signing off here. We'll see what we've got, what we come up with next. Ta-ta.